Hello and welcome to this special report brought to you by the Welch Group. Today, we're diving into the latest buzz shaking up the world of personal finance Trump accounts, a new proposal that's drawing eyes and raising questions. Parents, you'll want to pay close attention because these accounts could impact your child's financial future in a big way. But what exactly are Trump accounts? Why all the fuss? And how do they stack up against tried and true options like 529 plans? Over the next few minutes, I'll break down the facts, highlight the fine print, and help you figure out whether these vehicles could be the right move for your family. Let's start with the basics. What's in this so-called Big Beautiful Bill, and why does it matter? The Big Beautiful Bill is President Trump's latest legislative initiative, packed with proposals that target everything from tax reform to education. But lurking in the fine print, a brand new kind of savings account designed just for kids, what some are calling Trump accounts. Now, you might be thinking, haven't we seen child savings plans before? Yes, but this one comes with unique twists, automatic federal contributions, and broader spending options. The political debate is heating up, with supporters touting opportunity and critics warning of complexity. Let's break down the mechanics and see what makes these accounts different. First things first, who actually qualifies? Trump accounts will be available to U.S. citizens aged 8 or younger starting in 2026. That's a pretty specific target. Essentially, the bill is aimed at helping today's youngest generation build assets early. Here's a hypothetical. Imagine your child is born in 2027. According to the bill, they'd immediately qualify for this specialized account. But what if your child's 9? Unfortunately, they're out of luck. The cutoff is strict. This age-based eligibility, or cohort restriction, is designed to maximize long-term compounding for the youngest savers. But is it fair? That's a question we'll revisit. Here's where things get interesting. For children born between 2025 and 2028, the government will make an automatic 1-0 contribution into each Trump account. In financial terms, this is called a seed deposit, a small sum intended to kickstart growth and encourage parental engagement. Now, you might be wondering, is 1-0 really a game changer? Well, with compound interest, even modest early investments can snowball over 2 decades. Still, critics argue it's a drop in the bucket compared to college costs or home down payments. But for families with limited savings opportunities, this automatic boost could mean a real head start. It's an example of what economists call an incentive alignment mechanism. So, what can parents do to supercharge these accounts? Under the proposal, you can contribute up to 5-0 per year per eligible child. That's a hefty annual max, rivaling popular vehicles like 529 plans and even some Roth IRAs. Let me tell you a story. Jane, a mother from Atlanta, stashes away 3-0 each year for her daughter. Over 18 years, factoring in moderate returns, that could amount to a significant nest egg. But remember, exceeding the 5-0 cap can trigger penalties, so stay vigilant. This annual limit, or contribution ceiling, is designed to balance tax benefits with fiscal responsibility. But is it enough to fund a college education or a first home? That's where the next segment comes in. Let's talk about what you can actually do with Trump account funds. The term you'll hear is qualified expenses. For these accounts, that includes higher education, job training, starting a small business, and even a first-time home purchase. Imagine your child at 23, deciding between grad school or launching a startup. With a Trump account, either path could be funded assuming the withdrawal falls under these categories. This flexibility is a big selling point, especially compared to traditional 529 plans. But there's always a catch. Withdrawals for non-qualified uses, that's where tax consequences and even penalties can kick in. We'll get to that in a moment. Here's something parents need to circle on their calendar. Partial access at age 18, full access at age 25, and a mandatory depletion by age 31. That means your child can withdraw 50% of the balance at adulthood, but has to wait until 25 for the rest. Now, why these milestones? Policymakers want to encourage responsible, staged spending. Think of it as a trust fund with training wheels. But what if your child doesn't use the funds by 31? The clock runs out and the rules change. This built-in timeline, or vesting schedule, is meant to guide young adults through early financial decisions. But could it rush them into major purchases? That's a risk worth considering. Let's get technical for a moment. The way Trump accounts are taxed is different from 529 plans. If you withdraw for qualified expenses, your gains are taxed at capital gains rates, not ordinary income. That's a key distinction. Now, here's the kicker. 529 plan distributions for education are completely tax-free. With Trump accounts, you get a break just, not a total exemption. Think of it as getting a coupon instead of a free pass. But if you miss the age deadline or use funds for non-qualified expenses, earnings are taxed as regular income, which usually means a higher rate. That's a crucial detail for planners. So how do Trump accounts really stack up against the classic 529 plan? On the surface, Trump accounts offer more flexible education, small business, home buying versus the education-only focus of 529s. But here's the nuance. 529s deliver full tax-free growth for education, while Trump accounts offer only capital gains treatment even for qualified withdrawals. Which is better? That depends on your family's goals and your child's path. As a parent, you might ask, should I split my savings or go all in on one plan? The right answer depends on your risk tolerance, your tax bracket, and of course, your child's dreams. Every investment vehicle has a downside. For Trump accounts, the strict age cutoffs, mandatory depletion, and complex tax rules are possible stumbling blocks. What if your child delays career plans or wants to save for later? The account structure might not fit. And what about market risk? Like any account tied to investment returns, there's no guarantee of growth. If you're banking on steady gains, remember, volatility can erode even the best-laid plans. So before you leap, ask yourself, does this vehicle truly align with your family's timeline and needs, or could a more traditional option serve you better? So what's the bottom line? If your child is born between 2025 and 2028, that one zero-seed money could be a no-brainer. But for everyone else, careful planning is key. Trump accounts offer flexibility and incentives, but with strings attached. Let's recap. Weigh your goals, understand the tax consequences, and don't forget to compare with 529s or other savings vehicles. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. If you want to dig deeper, check out our financial tips on thewaf.com or tune in to our 4 p.m. newscast. And as always, consult a qualified advisor before making big moves with your money. Your child's future could depend on it.